Okay, we're doing a Sang Hilchas Bishul, Siman Shinya Ches, Sif Aleph, chair number 18. So before we start the Sif, we have to give a little bit of Akdama. This Sif is talking about Ma'aser Shabbos. This Sif is talking about if someone did something be'isser on Shabbos, what's the halacha with the food? Now we had in Reish Nun Gimel certain halachas of Ma'aser Shabbos, if you Shiur or Chazara, those are different. Those halachas are different. They're more in certain aspects. They're more chomerdik than a regular Ma'aser Shabbos. Here we're talking about a regular Ma'aser Shabbos. Someone did a malacha on Shabbos. What's the halacha with that food? So in the Gemara there's a machlokes. We're not going to go through all three shittas. Yechiel Sadla we're not going to go through because that's the most chomer. We're not passing that way. We'll go through the Meya and Rabbi Yehuda. So basically the Meya shita is that someone did a Ma'aser Shabbos. The main shit is someone did a Ma'aser Shabbos and any type of malacha on Shabbos. So the mayor holds b'shoigig. He did it by mistake. It's mutter, sai for him, and sai for everybody right away, according to the mayor. It's mutter right away for everybody. The mayor is mekel. The Yehuda is machmer. The Yehuda holds that b'shoigig, even b'shoigig, it's only mutter on Ma'aser Shabbos. On Shabbos itself, you're not allowed to use it. That's b'shoigig, which is halacha l'maisa. Most of our cases are called b'shoigig. Someone doesn't know, he does something also on Shabbos, so Chalkas Amei and Rabbi Yehuda, if you don't use it right away, you have to wait till Ma'aser Shabbos. Then there's a halacha of b'mezid. If someone does it b'mezid, it was over Ma'aser Shabbos, he did it on purpose, he knows also he does it anyway. Such a person is a machlekes also. The mayor holds it's mutter for everybody Ma'aser Shabbos right away, and Rabbi Yehuda was machmer holds that for the person who did it, it's also forever. La'olam, it's also. But for the person who, for other people who wasn't done for, it's mutter for Ma'aser Shabbos miyad. It's mutter right away.
And here also, in terms of others, does that include the Bnei Beisai?
So we'll see in the Magen Avraham. And Rabbi's mashma includes anybody who was done for them. That's called loy. Acher means it wasn't done for them, and loy means it was done for them, even though it's not himself, as long as it was done for them.
But he also says something about that you should wait after Motzei Shabbos for the time.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. Here is no din b'chtei sheyasa, we'll see why soon. So let's start the sif. Hamavashal b'Shabbos, someone who cooks on Shabbos. So he does any of the other malachas. B'mezid, the person does it b'mezid, also loyal olam. It's also for him forever. Ula'acherim mutter l'Ma'aser Shabbos, and for other people it's mutter Ma'aser Shabbos miyad, right away. U'b'shoigig, medina b'shoigig, also boy b'yoyim, it's also that day, gam la'acherim, even for other people, ula'erev mutter gam loy miyad. And for a night, it's mutter for him also right away. So, the Mechaber Paskins like the Yehuda, the Chumrah, the B'shoigig is also for him and for Acherim till Ma'aser Shabbos, and then it's mutter miyad. And b'mezid it's also loy la'olam or Acherim mutter Ma'aser Shabbos. So the Magen Avraham and Sifka and Aleph says also loy la'olam mashma barashba simin kof ayin heyichabi da'kedera asura gamkein. The pot. Someone went ahead and he cooked food in a pot on Shabbos. So now that food becomes asur. The food is asur. You're not allowed to use that food. So the pot also becomes asur. Now obviously the Rabbi is talking about the pot is asur only as long as the food is asur. That means loy, for him, it's asur li'olam. The food is asur li'olam, so the pot, for this person, is asur li'olam. For acherim, or in the case of b'shoigig, so since Ma'aser Shabbos is mutter, so then the pot is mutter also. The pot can't be also longer than the food.
Is there a tikkun for the pot?
Hagala.
That's what I'm asking. So
Yeah.
you can
Do
do
Hagala, they take out the Isser. We look at it, and in the walls of the pot, there's an Isser. So you do Hagala.
And at the very same moment, that pot is holding Isser for one person and
Right?
Heter for another person.
Correct.
It's a very schizoid pot.
Correct.
And for Lacherin, that pot is
Mutter
mutter.
Shabbos is mutter.
Is mutter. So
Yeah.
how do we understand that? And
It's like a nether. How you look at a nether? That is also for me, it's mutter for you.
the nether is from the Torah, I understand that.
There's a kras.
It's
a kras, but
there's no
Rabbanan.
matziyas to it. I mean, what's
Or
the,
truma.
like, there's no Isser Bli in
But
it.
truma. Truma.
That's what we're treating
No,
it.
no, it is.
But it's Isser. The food,
No, but
look at the food. Look at the food. It's
somewhere
also
else?
the food mutter Shabbos, right? It's also loy. It's also for himself, and it's mutter for everybody else. So look at the pot the same way as the food. It has the police of the food inside the pot.
And do you treat the pot like you would do any other pot?
spiritually-
Like if, let's say, you cook something in it, there wasn't shishim connected to
Yeah.
the pot, then that new food would also be ushered to him.
Correct.
And
Correct.
everybody else could eat it.
Correct. Correct. That's what it should be. The pot is exactly like this.
Oh, so that's interesting. So in other words, you take out the food after Shabbos, but because the pot is also, if you now introduce new food into it, you're going to get what again into the blias business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pot into the.
But we'll see the Magen Avraham later on. If the food gets mixed up with other food, right? It's the same thing. Is it the shishim? There's no shishim. Right? It's the same thing as the pot. Okay. Sifkot and Beis, the Motzei Shabbos Miyad. So now we just saw that Motzei Shabbos is also for him, Loilam, and for everybody else it's Mutter Miyad. Asher Ein Kain, B'Shoigig it's Mutter for everybody Miyad. So then what happened to B'Chtei Shiyasu? That's the question. What happened to here B'Chtei Shiyasu? Why isn't it also Motzei Shabbos B'Chtei Shiyasu? We had Meshlam Gimel that if a guy does a malacha for you, Motzei Shabbos is Mutter, but you have to wait as the amount of time that it takes to do it, to prepare it. So here also, you should have to wait Motzei Shabbos the amount of time that it takes to prepare it B'Chtei Shiyasu. So says the Magen Avraham, the Dafke Ba'akum She'oisa B'i'inon B'Chtei Shiyasu. Only by a guy that does a malacha for you do you need B'Chtei Shiyasu. Why? The Cheshinon Shema Yomru Loi Lasot. The Choshesh that maybe you'll end up telling the guy to do it for you. So B'Chtei Shiyasu, according to this Shita, is basically a Gzeira. We're worried that if you're going to have a no Motzei Shabbos right away, so next Shabbos you tell the guy to do it for you on Shabbos. So this way Motzei Shabbos you have it right away. Ava Yisrael or Yishmaloi, Yisrael will not listen to you. One shot. Now after the Rashi Shakos of Atam, Shlo Yehenim Melecha Shabbos. Rashi has another reason. You know why you have to wear B'Chtei Shiyasu? It's not a Gzeira that maybe next week you'll ask the guy to do it for you. Because you can't have a no from Motzei Shabbos. And now, if you're using your Motzei Shabbos, forget about next week. This week, you're having enough of something that was done on Shabbos, because you have it right away, Motzei Shabbos. So if that's the case, Yisrael should be the same thing. For Yisrael also, Motzei Shabbos, right as man, if you're using it, you're being nana from the fact that the person did it on Shabbos. You're being nana for Motzei Shabbos. Still, says the Magen Avraham, after Rashi Shekos of a time Shelo Yehenim Melecha Shabbos, when Shekos of Sibir Tavkuf Tezvav, V'kamochem Hachashari. Why? To b'milsad le'shchicha le'gazru, b'milsad le'shchicha, which is, this is not shchich that Yisrael should do a malacha for you, le'gazru didn't make any gzeres.
So what if, from the Magen Avraham it seems to say that it's by an akum. Does he get into the issue, the fact that in Reish and Gimel we also had Shehiyah, Chazar and Hakmana, which were done even by Yisrael.
Right.
So there was a special knaf that we say B'Chtei Shiyasu.
Right, for different
But here
reasons.
he's only picking on the akum, which is the Eni Yehudi part of it.
Well, only by Achav is Chedei Shiyasu, by Yisrael is not Chedei Shiyasu, by other malachas. By Shehiyah,
By Shehiyah there
there
is.
is.
Right.
For Shehiyah,
Doesn't seem to.
right, let's speak about it here, because by Shehiyah is a different reason why. For Shehiyah the reason is because Yisrael himself may be Meichel. Well, that's not so bad. Left on the fire.
Right. So the idea that he says dafka ba'akum, he's not arguing with that point.
No, that's what I said. Dafka ba'akum means in regular Malacha Shabbos. Shehiyah and Chazara have their own chumras of Chodesh Yasu or Ma'aser Shabbos. Because there it's more kal. A person, he's just living on the fire, didn't do something so bad. So it made more gzeres. Here we're talking about a regular Ma'aser Shabbos, regular Malachas of Shabbos. So therefore, so the Magen Avraham says that even according to Rashi, it won't be also Chodesh Yasu.
So is the Magen saying then that when a Jew does a malacha b'shogig on Shabbos, that's called a milsa v'lo shchicha?
Correct.
Okay.
He does a malacha on Shabbos, b'shogig, it's a milsa v'lo shchicha. He's saying it is shchiach.
To me, that's a little bit.
Happens.
Yeah.
Not something that should be wiser on.
The truth is, unfortunately, that people don't know the halachas of Shabbos, and we find it a lot. The more and more we learn Hilchos Shabbos, the more we find when we go into other people's houses, you can't eat the food.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
In about 3 months, we won't be able to let you out anymore. So.
Yeah, that's what happens. And the truth is, these cases are called shogig. The person doesn't know. We call that a shogig. But if we pass like the Machaber passings over here, that b'shogig is also b'yom gamla acherim, so you can't eat the food. It'll be also for you to eat the food.
You need the
So you pass like the mayor. So the gra. So we'll get into that now. We'll get into the gra now. So that is why it's not b'kadosh yah. So now this is a Machaber, but there's a lot of other halachos that we have to know over here. One is that the Gra paskins like the Kula like Rabbi. So the Gra holds that no matter what, any malacha that's done on Shabbos, b'shogig, is mutter right away. See that? Like Rabbi. If you look in the Gra, the first Gra on the Siman, Amavashal b'Shabbos. We're not going to go through the whole thing. But just look at the beginning of the Gra. It says, Pasak Rabbi Yehuda. The Mechaber Paskin like Rabbi Yehuda, that holds that it's also b'shogig. Mishum the Stama v'loik Remeya, Mishum the Stama the Chulin Kavasei. Because the Stam Gemara and Chulin is mashma like Rabbi Yehuda. Aval Taisvis v'siyatam Pasku K'Remeya. Taisvis passes like Remeya, v'rei Asam Berura Ma'oid. And Taisvis Raya is very, very clear. That's enough to see from the Gra. And then the Gra goes through the whole thing and he says, therefore, he passes like Remeya. So the Gra is maker like Remeya, and he holds that b'shogig is mutter miyad. B'mezid is mutter loy mutter Shabbos.
And again, in our definition, like a lack of yediyah falls under shogig.
We're going to call lack of yediyah shogig.
Yeah. So
we're going to call it shogig.
They just don't know the law.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say. That's how we're going to say. Because there are machmirim in that. Person should have learned. If you look in the Mr. Baruch says that Mefurish. Mr. Baruch says, Ubeshogig Sif Katan Vav. The Mr. Baruch Ubeshogig says to Mr. Baruch, Shogag Bedin Beshokach Chol Zeh Bechlal Shogichu. There is, I don't remember offhand.
That's not exactly.
Sif Katan Vav. Shogag Bedin Beshokach Chol Zeh Bechlal Shogichu. Now there is a Mr. Baruch someplace else, I don't remember where it is offhand, we'll come to it, that says if a guy does not learn the halachas, he's not called a shogig.
That's what I'm asking, because a shofar or a shogeg badin is not...
Right, if a guy's a pesheya and he's not learning the halachas, it could be it's not called a shogig. Could be it's called the mazer that makes it worse.
This person like this, those who doesn't learn,
it's not true, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And we'll see it makes a big after this one. Because the Goyen passes like Remeya.
Right.
That's the kula, that b'shogig, it's mutter miyad.
Right.
But Remeya holds, b'mezid, is also to Matzah Shabbos.
Right.
So if you go to somebody's house and you see him doing an issur, they tell him, Mister, that you can't do that on Shabbos. And he ignores you. So maybe the first time it's a shogig. The next Shabbos when you go back to him, he's already considered a mazid. And if he's a mazid, there's no tzad l'hakol and to eat it. Then he's already considered a mazid. If a person knows that there could be an issue and is not interested in checking into it, he can also be called a mazid. So b'shoigig, we'll see soon. B'shoigig, let's see right away. Look at the next Mishnah Berurah, Sivka and Zion.
It's on the sheni now. If somebody who's over all the time in shortage is not going to be over the mazid because you told him.
Right. We hope. We hope. Yeah. Look at the Mishnah Berurah, Sivka and Zion. Sivka and Zion, the Mishnah Berurah is very important. Mishnah Berurah. Gam la'acherim. Hine. The Gemara pligi be'inyan shogig u'mezid v'mei Rabbi Yehuda. V'dat ha'shulchan aruch hu the Mechaber Paskins das Rabbi Yehuda. Sheken iskimu arif v'arambam v'ag'oinim. V'agra. Kama. V'agra hiskim Rabbi Yehuda. V'shitz ha'tosis v'shiyata the pasuk v'mei v'mezid also bein loi bein la'acherim ad Shabbos u'b'shogig mutter gam le'miyad. U'b'mokam ha'tzayrich Yesh listmoich al zeh a bishul b'shoigig. From Mokam HaTzairich, you could be makel someone did a b'shoigig. So the Mechaber passes like Rabbi Yehuda, the Goyim passes like a Meir. But Mokam HaTzairich, you could be makel like the Meir. That's what the Mishnah Berurah passes. Now what's called Mokam HaTzairich?
In other words, if you have no other food to eat.
So that's the question. What's called Mokam HaTzairich? You go to someone's house. You go to someone's house, and you know he did an Isser, b'shoigig. He doesn't know. Let's go with b'shoigig. So now you have a choice. Either you don't eat the food, you're not going to starve. Other food you can eat.
You have bread.
And the person will be insulted. Well, you're not eating my food, right? Is that called Mokam HaTzairich? Or not? I would say it's not called Mokam HaTzairich. You have to tell the person you can't do it. The person is not going to accept it, and you don't want to tell him that he can't do it, so then just don't eat it. I wouldn't call it a Mokam HaTzairich that you may insult the person because he doesn't want to listen to you what halacha is.
A bar mitzvah kiddush in the koil would be a Mokam HaTzairich.
Bar mitzvah kiddush?
In the koil.
Yeah.
And someone did something b'shoigig there.
But he talked to David B'shoigig, he doesn't know?
Of course, I mean, yeah.
So that's the question.
And there's 100 people that are waiting.
That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. If someone did something b'shoigig, he talked to David know, and there's a bunch of people, there's a whole kiddush, and you can't just not serve the food, that may be b'mokam HaTzairich. Maybe. And Mekel. Because everyone came for the kiddush and there's a bunch of food there. All the food didn't go to the garbage because someone did something b'shoigig. Now you have to realize there's another halacha here. We didn't speak out. I will speak out now. All these that were passing like a mayor, that we pass like a Yehuda, make it a din, but b'mokam HaTzairich, if we make it according to the mayor, is only by malachas de'oraisis. By malachas de'rabbanan, the Gra says that even the mechaber is going to pass it like the mayor. If you look in the, first look in the Gra itself. Look at the Gra, the Ramas called Oisha Asa. It's after the long one. The second one in the Simon. First is the long Gra, and then there's another one, Oisha Asa. See Rambam, a Perchav Gimel starts? So look towards the end of the Gra.
Where is the door?
Towards the end of the last line, the Im came. Oisha Asa, the Gra Oisha Asa, you see it?
Yes.
Masha Kasuf?
Oisha Asa, yeah. Okay, so where is it?
All the way at the end. Im came Masha Kasef. All the way at the end of the Gra, last line. Im came Masha Kasef Oisha Asa. And is it any of the other malachas the same malacha? Hainu b'dairaisa. That's only by malacha dairaisa. Ava b'derabanan and malacha derabanan kiremeya. We pass them like kiremeya. V'zehu af l'shitis ha-shulchan aruch kanal. That is even according to the Shulchan Aruch. There is the mechaber passes like Rabbi Yehuda, but by an issa derabanan we'll pass them like Remeya. That's what the Gra says. The Biur Halacha brings it down also. In Yeah, the Biur Halacha, the first Biur Halacha in the Siman. Ve'im hu malacha de Rabbanan, ayin Primogadim shekosef dechad dina isklahu. The Primogadim says it has one dinner. B'shogeg tzorach lamten amot Shabbos ayin sham. The Rei also in Shabbos lamet chetzim min aleph. Damar sham avashel hu d'kavod ma'isa v'l'hayt l'kavod ma'isa. Go on. He says u'mitzasi v'bir hagra. Says the Biur Halacha. U'mitzasi v'bir hagra. Shekosav u'masek la'halacha. Tafilu dasa shechanarach shepatzak Rabbi Yehuda hainu b'da'iraisa. Ava malacha de Rabbanan husayve the loy kansu shogeg automazid. So that's what the Gra says. So let's set it up. So now we have the Mechaber Paskins make a day like Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gra, even in the Mechaber himself, it's only b'da'iraisa, not b'da'rabanan. So right away when you have an Issa d'Rabbanan, you have one kula. That the Gra holds, even the Mechaber only said it's done by da'iraisa. And even by a Malacha da'iraisa, the Gra paskins like a Meya, and the Mishnah says, based on Tzorech, it could be made. So now, by Malacha d'Rabbanan, there's definitely more of a tzad l'kula. Someone did a Malacha d'Rabbanan on Shabbos, and you're in his house, and you're eating there, and it was an Issa d'Rabbanan that he did, and you don't want to embarrass him, Efshar. Maybe it's a tzad. More of a tzad.
About the food he's serving, not about just general.
No, it's not the food they're serving. You want to eat the food, and it's over Issa d'Rabbanan, then it's not so bad. But Issa d'Rabbanan is, for example, Shiur Chazorah. Right? Shiur Chazorah, which is an Issa d'Rabbanan. If it's Issa Bishul, it's an Issa d'Oraisa.
There, could you argue there that you have to be more machmir?
Problem is, the Shiur Chazorah, it could be even more machmir.
Right.
Even more machmir. We find the ratio of Gimel than Shiur Chazorah, but more machmir than every other malacha. So maybe Shiur Chazorah you can't be mekel. I have to ask your rabbi. But maybe Shiur Chazorah, maybe you can't be mekel. But any other malacha that Rabbanan someone does, there's more of a tzad lahakal.
Should we go to the kitchen and see what the guy person doing there?
No, don't go to the kitchen.
That's what I'm saying. So how do you know what's going on in the
Better not to know.
You're sitting at the table. You don't care about the kitchen.
Let's say a situation, like let's say you turn a light on.
Not to know. Rather than
is it the right or is it?
So can I ask a question? Someone by mistake turned on the light on Shabbos. B'shoigig.
Yeah.
Right? They're b'shoigig. So that's Ma'aser Shabbos. So the question is, electricity is that the Raisa de Rabbanan.
That's the question.
It's big machlokes.
The sheets are wrong. They say that it's a deraisa.
What, turn on the light?
Well, it comes out that it's a halal, but we paskin that it's a drabana.
Who passed the Rabbanan?
Everybody except for the Chazanim. Chazanish says it's binyan.
Yeah.
And everybody else says it's a
Okay, so
for sure paskin is drabana.
Total Avar is a deraisa.
But it's a drabana.
Why is it derabanan? So Avar is deraisa.
Avar is deraisa. That's on electricity, at least for medical things, for sure.
For medical things.
Told over and over.
No, for medical things, they're more medical maybe.
Sure, it's.
Yeah, but I don't think we use that for. We know from the past couple of weeks that we can't use anything that's paskins for medical usage. You can't use for everything else.
Okay, I was told specifically that
it's a derabanan.
For sure.
Okay.
That's how you have
Other than the Chazanish, who says clearly.
Okay. So now let's say this is derabanan, right? So it's Ma'aser Shabbos derabanan. Maybe it's al hakol. The Ma'aser we're not mekel. Someone turns on light, we're not mekel to use the.
You got to walk out of the room.
You can't be nana from the light. Whatever you could have done.
If it's like a dark bathroom, that was the only light.
Fine. If whatever could have been done, whatever you could have done without it, you can continue doing. Whatever you couldn't have done without it, then you can't continue doing.
That's Torah. Is that the definition? Or
it's not Torah.
Would you call it
in the case of a Torah,
why would we?
Maybe if you be made.
Or they have a light? Or
Yeah, in the case of a Torah.
If you have a
you need to learn Torah by that light.
It's open very.
But let's say in the washroom there is a light that automatically opens when there is no light. Okay, so you can use the washroom regular with that small light.
So you have a light. So you're not out from it. So you have a light. You have a light anyway.
Yeah.
You have a light anyway. So look, every time you have a Ma'aser Shabbos, you have to decide if it's the Rabbanan or the Eraisa. If it's the Eraisa, we paskin. It's also the Baruch says But it's a tzorich, a mokam ha-tzorich, it could be mekel. You have to know what's called a tzorich. If it's the rabbanon, so then you have the extra heter of the gra, which the Pri Megadim argues on, but the extra heter of the gra, even the mechaber held that it's mutter in such a case. This is all b'shoigig, not amazing. And that's the klal of Ma'aser Shabbos. I think that's basically all we have to know for the klal of Ma'aser Shabbos. Another important bi'alacha here. Okay, if you look at the bi'alacha, there's two bi'alachas. Look at the bi'alacha. Achas Mishar Melachos. All the way at the end of the first page on the first page of Hilchos Shabbos, the last words. Achas Mishar Melachos. Says the Be'alacha, Kosa B'chai Adam, Klal Tes, Dafka B'davar Shenasa Ma'aseh B'guf HaDavar. Only if something changed in the Guf HaDavar, the thing itself. Shenashtana B'kemoy Shehaya, Kimavashal, Chayotze Boy. You change the actual product. Aval HaMoitzi Mishus L'Rishus. If you carry from one rishus to another rishus, it didn't change. The object didn't change. But the Mishmur says, so the Chai Adam wants to make a chiluk that the object itself didn't change, that it's not as chomer as if the object did change. Chai Adam. The Be'alacha says, it should be machmir even in such a case. If someone by mistake carried something across the Rishus Rabbim, then he should not use it. Even though the object didn't change, we carry it through Rishus Rabbim, he shouldn't use it.
If you're talking about cooking, by definition it changes, right?
And
cooking does, yeah. Cooking changes. Cooking,
right, so then...
But carrying...
No,
but with cooking you can't be makel.
Right.
The Chai Adam's kula is only when the object doesn't change.
Okay.
It says the Be'alacha, even so we shouldn't be makel with the Chai Adam. We should say, even though the object didn't change, for example, you're carrying through Rishus Rabbim,
right.
And now you have that object in your hand, you want to use it. So according to the Be'alacha, you shouldn't use that object because it was Ma'aser Shabbos.
That's even if it could have been theoretically done in a different way, or that.
Even so, yeah. Even if it could have been done a different way, did a Ma'aser Shabbos. Now,
even if you use did it with a shinui,
it doesn't make a difference. Shin is the Rabbanon. Shin is only the Rabbanon.
Okay.
But now you have to realize it's very hard to find the Rishus Rabbim today's.
Right.
So every time you're doing it, it's really a Rabbanon. So now you're back to the kula of the gra that by the Rabbanon maybe it could be mekel. So if someone carries something through Rishus Rabbim, or our Rishus Rabbim is really a Karmelis on Shabbos, and now he wants to use the object, so you have a few tzirufim l'kula. One is it's only the Rabbanon, one is the Chai Adam, then maybe it could be mekel. Again, you have to ask a rabbi. But there are tzirufim to be mekel in such a case. But then the Bi'alacha says, V'da, T'ladas HaShulchan the Pasuk Rabbi Yehuda, the B'shagig Mutter L'hanes Ma'aser Shabbos, Zeo B'chol Malachos, the Minkir HaKnas Shakantu Chazal. Any malacha that the knas you could tell, meaning, if you cook something on Shabbos, don't use it for Shabbos. But, the Minkir HaKnas Shakantu Chazal Shlo L'hanes B'yoyim Ad Ma'aser Shabbos. Aval B'Neteya B'Shabbos. Someone who plants on Shabbos. So what are you going to say? Don't use it till Ma'aser Shabbos. Anyway, you're not going to use it till Ma'aser Shabbos. So what does it mean? Don't use it till Ma'aser Shabbos. There's no, you can't tell the knas. V'hodin b'zeireya. He seeds. T'belav v'hachi ein yachal lehenois la'alter. Then shoygig shava lemezid. T'b'shneyem tzarech la'akar haratia. Keini sebehedi begitim. So it comes out like this. This time we say something's the mutzah Ma'aser Shabbos, b'shoygig or b'mezid la'acherim, is only when you can't use it on Shabbos, and you could tell that a whole Shabbos you couldn't use it. Minkir HaKnas, you could tell the knas. But someday you can't tell the knas, meaning anyway you're not going to use it on Ma'aser Shabbos. then it's also forever.
There's another knas.
So if a person builds a chair, that might be enough of a knas. He can't sit in the chair for
Till Motzei Shabbos, yeah.
He can't sit in the chair.
Yeah, till Motzei Shabbos.
Otherwise, he can.
No, but building a chair, building is binyan is deraisa.
Yeah.
So deraisa.
No, it might deraisa. No, but here doesn't make a difference. Motzei Shabbos, everything is mutter b'shogeg or for acher.
Right. So the thing is that you'd say that's enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to uproot. It doesn't have to break the chair.
Doesn't have to break the chair. If it's a finished product on Shabbos, then it's not a problem.
So these principles apply to all the 39 malachas?
All 39 malachas. If you ever have anything that the Ma'aser Shabbos, anyway you can't use it for another couple of days,
Right.
then there's no din of shias, there's no din of knas for Motzei Shabbos. The din is you have to be accurate, you can't use it at all.
When the Mishnah asking that you could rely on Rameir, that's Dirabban. But the rice he holds you have to be Machmer for, let's say, B'mezid. So it's also Elam according to review that it's not B'mezid by the Raisa.
That's a good question. That means, what we said till now was that, if you look at the Mishnah Berurah, he says we can rely on the Gra, who passes like Rameir, if someone did a b'shogeg. And it's mutter miyad. So, how about to rely on the Gra by a mezid loy l'motzei Shabbos? Right, the Gra also argues if you did it by mezid, it's mutter for you. It's mutter for you motzei Shabbos according to the Meir. According to Yehuda, it's also for you the olam, the mezid. The Mishnah Berurah didn't speak about that. Could you rely on the Meir in that case also? To make it after Shabbos loy. Someone did a malacha b'mezid, and you make it like a Meir b'motzei Shabbos.
In the Biur Halacha, he seems to say that it's both. He says, the middle, he says, Mashma Sham, the Bein Linyan Shaiga, Bein Linyan Mezid, for the grow.
No, by Malacha de Rabbanan.
No, not in the first Biur Halacha. Right in the middle.
Yeah, but it's going on. That's auch Ayin. Because it's going to Malacha de Rabbanan, who Yehuda Tzavik Remeir. Machas on the Bein Linyan Shaiga, Bein Linyan Mezid. That's why Malacha de Rabbanan. Not by Malacha de Raisa, that we can make her like Remeir. So, it's a good question. I have here written a diik in a Biur Halacha later on, in Sharat Tzin later on. That's mashma you could. If you look at the Sharat Tzin, Sif Kot and Tzadiches. Sif Kot and Tzadiches. The Sharat Tzin. It's talking about someone doing Malacha b'mezid. So it says it's Aser ad Motzei Shabbos. Says the Sharat Tzin, Ayin Tav v'Sefer Dibur l'Shtosoi v'Nafkamina Gam Nineinu v'Niro v'Afilu b'mezid. Even if it was done b'mezid, ein l'hachmir yoyser. You don't have to make it more than Motzei Shabbos. Ayin le'el b'shasimin b'das hagra. Meaning, the gra is mekel, and you see the Sharat Tzin is saying that we will also be mekel like the gra b'eis hatzorech. And that's talking about a mezid. A mezid for himself for Motzei Shabbos. So the idea of the Sharat Tzin that he could be mekel even for himself on Motzei Shabbos. B'eis hatzorech. Where's the negeya? Where's the negeya? It's not so negeya to the Shabbos. The guy's doing it b'mezid. The answer is, it's very negate to Fry Eden. Fry Eden knows they're doing something wrong on Shabbos. A non-firm Jew knows he's doing something wrong on Shabbos. So and he did something on Shabbos, so for him it's also the Olam. He cannot use the Olam. So let's say after Shabbos he does Tshuva. Right? Could he use this thing? No, he cannot use it. It's also the Olam. According to this Biur Gra, he could be mekel even loy for Motzei Shabbos.
I bring a case here of a guy that buys a suit on Shabbos, and then he becomes Chayzer with Tshuva. He's allowed to wear the suit.
He's allowed to wear the suit.
They're asking that you can.
You can't.
You can.
Why? Because of the Gra.
That was before the... Yeah,
no, so if a Friday person goes there and buys a suit on Shabbos, we did a Motzei Shabbos.
Right.
So he's now been nana from that suit, la'olam, forever. He can't be nana from that suit forever.
Why
But
can't
practically, that
it be
doesn't
like
make
a
sense.
chair?
If you're going to be a chazer b'tshuva, and then you have to basically buy a whole new wardrobe, right?
Okay, so then you say, why, not everything.
Not just no wardrobe, the car.
Why? Not you didn't buy everything on Shabbos.
Number 17. Number 17. Number 17 o'clock.
That's the day off. They go and do Shabbos.
Just get a new shape on. That's what you're wearing before.
That's right, she bought the shape on Shabbos when she wasn't from.
Not too much incentive to become a
Okay. Yeah, because the Mokum Atzarech. He says only Mut because the Mokum Atzarech. This person is Chayzer with Tshuva, you're going to ask for everything, he's not going to do Tshuva. So it's called the Mokum Atzarech. But that's only if you give a Semicha on the Grab, but Mezid, Loi, Motzei Shabbos. Right? That's the only reason why. So he speaks down first over here. So that's what it is. That's the case. That's the case. If you give a Mekel for him, for Motzei Shabbos, miyad. The Gra holds, Paskin, that even, not Beis HaTzorech, we Paskin, for you it's Mutter Motzei Shabbos, miyad. We don't pass like the Gra, Beis HaTzorech will make it like the Gra. The Mishnah says over here, by a Shoigig. How about by a Mezid? So that's what Sharatzin, I showed you later on, that even by a Mezid you could be Samech on the Gra, Beis HaTzorech, and this, the Chayr, is called the Mokaim HaTzorech. Person is Chayr B'Tshuva, and now he wants to use his clothing that he bought on Shabbos, it's called the Mokaim HaTzorech. Okay. There's another interesting thing to know, which, I'm not going to say it, but it has a lot of, a lot of ramifications, this halacha, and just keep it in your back pocket, you should know it. The Pri Megadim says that if someone did a Ma'aser Shabbos, it's also forever. It's also forever. Loi, it's also forever. If you can undo it, then it becomes mutter. And he gives an example. If someone does Baruch on Shabbos, he does a Ma'aser Baruch on Shabbos, he takes something and he's Baruch, one thing from the next. Amazing. It's also for him forever. He can't use that food now, he's Baruch. If he goes Motzei Shabbos and he mixes it back together again, so then he was basically uprooted the Ma'aser Baruch. Said the Pri Megadim, now you're not being nana for Ma'aser Shabbos. You're not being nana for Ma'aser Shabbos. Why? Because you got rid of what you did. So now you can be nana.
You said on Motzei Shabbos, if you did that on Shabbos, if you
also
remixed it back together on Shabbos.
And then you want to eat it?
Yeah.
It should be the same thing. Because you're not being nana for Ma'aser Shabbos. But obviously you separate it for a reason, because you can't eat it the way it is.
So that Baal Shubba could take a suit that he bought on Shabbos, he could sell it to someone and they could buy it back.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You have to know. That's called being oiker. That's what I'm saying. You have to know. You have to.
He can sell it anyway. The only there's only the.
I know. He
can sell it anyway.
Right, he can sell it. Yeah, he can sell it. Right, he can sell it.
Anyway, that's the Mishnah.
Correct.
Could he sell it really? Because he can't.
Yeah, why not?
He
cannot use it, but he can have Hana.
No, I don't talk about no.
You can have, Mishnah for $1.
Yeah, but this is the first. It's mutter about no. Yeah, it's mutter about no.
You can sell that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what the Pri Megadim says. It's not here. Pri Megadim is in Shiur Tes. That's the Pri Megadim says. If you could get rid of it, then you could use it.
We're saying we don't have to come on to the Pri Megadim because we do Samech on the Gra, right?
Right. You will Samech on the Gra. But the same. How about on Shabbos itself? If you want to use it on Shabbos itself, let's say you did Baruch.
Yeah.
By mistake, right? It's also b'shogig. It's also. So what do you want to do? You want to put it back. You want to put it back together again, and then eat it without the Baruch.
But let's say we put fire on, you cannot extinguish.
No,
So it's not everything possible.
and if you cook something, you can't make it
So
uncooked.
now I'm going to read down again. I'm going to blow the
Let's see if I can find the Prima Godim. This is our branch, and it says.
You have to have a special stand and you put the bones and the chicken comes out.
You almost find the way. So it is Jew. You would love, but if you really want to.
Yeah, you can't uncook.
You see the sense? Okay.
If you can uncook, you can undo your chicken.
Yeah, that's it.
Put all the things.
So, if you look at the Prima Godim, the Prima Godim has a suffix about it. If you look at the Prima Godim in Yechiel Avram, Shin Yud Tes, Sifkat Aleph. Yechiel Avram, Shin Yud Tes, Sifkat Aleph. Shin Yud Tes, Sifkat Aleph. Small Yechiel Avram there. In the middle it says, Ve'im l'oyin l'tzorachid l'mahani ma'isa kol kach v'ladamid l'mavashal v'chudoymo she'i efshel l'shanos m'kemoi shehoya v'she'eke in boirer yachol l'haniach oichel l'psoilis kemoi shehoya v'livrar b'choil. You can put it back together again and then go do boirer b'choil. V'yashloimid aser mitam knas l'oben yisura. Maybe it stays also. Once you did an isser in this food, it stays also. See it? It's a good thing to keep in mind that if you could uproot what you did, maybe then it becomes mutter. Shin Tes Aleph, Yechiel Avram Aleph. All the way to the end of Yechiel Avram Aleph. Okay, now let's get into the Magen Avram with Yechiel Matirim. I'll give a quick akdama for those who were with us by Yechiel Beheter. There's something called Davar Shesh Matirim. Davar Shesh Matirim means that if you have Isser that falls into Heter, and there's Roim or the Shishim, it's bottle. It's mutter, you're allowed to eat it. But if that Isser is going to become mutter later on by itself, for example, Ma'aser Shabbos, right? Mutter Shabbos.
Ma'aser Shabbos mutter.
It becomes mutter Shabbos.
Bitzah nolda b'Shabbat. Bitzah nolda b'Shabbat. An egg that was
based on Shabbos. Anything that becomes mutter Shabbos, then it's called Yechiel Matirim, and therefore if it gets mixed in with Roiv, it's not bottle. If it's Yechiel Matirim, if the Isser itself will become mutter later on, we don't say bittul b'Roiv, and you have to wait until that night when everything becomes heter. And the pastas, the reason is because why should you eat it b'Isser if you can eat it b'heter? Right. Even though there's a bittul b'Roiv, why should you eat it b'Isser if you can eat it b'heter? That's called Yechiel Matirim. So we have over here, we have an interesting case. You have food, we're going in the Shitza Mechaber, that was cooked on Shabbos. So for other people, b'meizid, let's say, for other people it's mutter matzah Shabbos. For the person who was cooked for, it's aser la'olam, forever. So now, for the person who wasn't cooked for, it's mutter matzah Shabbos. It falls into other food. Is he allowed to eat that whole thing on Shabbos?
No.
He's not allowed to, because it's Yechiel Matirim. For the person who is aser la'olam forever, it falls into other food and gets mixed together, he's allowed to eat the whole mixture.
Right.
Why? Because for him, it's ein la'matirim. For him, it's ein la'matirim. There's no heter to it. So we have here a case that even though it's more chamerdik for one person, but it could end up being more kal.
But it has to be raw, it's not practical.
For the person that made himself, yeah.
Because it's aser forever.
It's aser forever, so if it's mixed with other things, it becomes bottle.
But it's not practical. How can you do barov like that, aser food? You have a plate of soup, how can you?
No, it falls into the head.
But if you cook something, it's quality, quantity, right? So it's practically impossible.
If there was the Isser.
Yeah, if it's one drop.
Running on Shabbos, one of them was done to Isser, two of them not. They got mixed up. You don't know which one.
How many crock pots do you have in your home?
In the shul, a kiddush.
In the shul.
One, the guy, someone did the mason, he plugged it in, and then.
Okay, fine. So let's see what he says here.
In the cold.
We continue in the Morgan of Ram. We left off in the Morgan of Ram. Let's continue in the Morgan. Haya Master Shabbos Yom Tov. If Master Shabbos, you have the Morgan of Ram, where we left off. Morgan of Ram Sif Cotton Bays right after the Master Shabbos. If Haya Master Shabbos Yom Tov. If Master Shabbos was Yom Tov, Osir. The Ein Shabbos Mechel Yom Tov. So if someone cooks something with Shoygig on Shabbos, it's mutter Matzah Shabbos miyad. But how about if that Matzah Shabbos is Yom Tov? Then you can't use it.
Then you cannot use it.
Why can't you use it? Because Shabbos cannot prepare for Yom Tov. It's Meichen. Shabbos cannot prepare for Yom Tov.
Unless you did...
No, still can't. Erev Shilin is only Friday.
Right.
Yom Tov.
It does Yom Tov for Shabbos. But not Shabbos for Yom Tov.
Right.
You never allow to prepare from Shabbos to Yom Tov.
Right.
So if you have food that was made on Shabbos b'shoigig, even though usually you're allowed to eat a Matzah Shabbos, so a Matzah Shabbos is Yom Tov, like this year's Shavuos, if someone by mistake prepared food on Shabbos b'shoigig, he wants to use a Matzah Shabbos, you can't use it. Because it is Ein Shabbos Meichen Yom Tov.
Would that apply even if, for example, you're not cooking, you just have a salad and you're mixing it?
Also you can't prepare
it. Yeah, then you couldn't, because any type of preparation.
Yeah, any preparation you can't do. If you're doing it for Shabbos, you have leftovers.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But here you cannot use it on Shabbos.
Right.
So it's making for Yom Tov and you can't use it. So now, Vayim Yeridea, Seif Simon Kuf Beis. Look in Yeridea, Seif Simon Kuf Beis, which is the simon of Yeshla Matirim. The Mis'arif Oisei Dova Ba'acherim. If this food that someone cooked, b'mezid, right? If it's b'shoigig, then everyone agrees. For everybody, it's mutter Matzah Shabbos, so it's definitely not bottle. But how about something that was cooked b'mezid? Mis'arif Oisei Dova Ba'acherim bottle. Well, they have a Dova Sheshla Matirim, and it's not called Yeshla Matirim. Even though for me, the Acherim, it's Yeshla Matirim, it's not called Yeshla Matirim. Why? Dumi the Truma Ayin Sham. Just like Truma. That's what the Mechaber says there. The Ramah says there. Says the Morgan Avram, the Tzarech Ian. The Eina Nidaim, Daim L'Raya. The thing that we're being done on is not Daim to the proof they brought. Why? The Truma, they have a Eitzel Shum Adam, Davar Shesh Lamatim. What's the case of Truma? Truma falls into other food. So the halacha is that it's not Yesh Lamatim. Even though for a Kohen it's mutter, for me it's not. It's not called Yesh Lamatim that I could give it to a Kohen. It's not called Yesh Lamatim. Why? Because right now, the Truma, for the Kohen, it's mutter. For me, it's also forever. So it's not called Yesh Lamatim. The fact that I give it to somebody else is not called Yesh Lamatim.
Could be for a woman who's going to get married to a Kohen. Because you have to do the act?
No, because it has to become mutter to the person it was also to. That means if I'm in Yisrael, Truma will never become mutter to me.
Okay. What about for a woman who's going to get married to a Kohen?
Here. Here. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, good cop. I don't know.
Same thing.
It's a material.
So he explains why it's not.
Why not? That's his question. I just cop. I don't know. The Master Shaka said the Kohen was tummy, so it becomes material for him also. Okay.
That's even better.
Yeah. Tzarech Ian. And I need the name of the Raya. The Truma they have a Shum Ad the Rosh Hashanah. The Ila Kohen Gama Yeh Mutter. If it's for Kohen, even today it's Mutter. For Ila Yisrael Lo Oila Master. It's always Asa. V'Hacha Kivet Shechal Olav Davar. The Shem Sheyesh LaMatirim LaAcherim. Since for Acherim it's called Yesh LaMatirim. After the day Lo Batal. Even for him it's not Batal. So it sounds like from the Morgan of Ram, everyone agrees that for the people, the Acherim, it's called Yesh LaMatirim. For them it's also for Matzah Shabbos. The question is, the person himself, is it called Yesh LaMatirim or not? Because this is give the Bekurim, the Mis'ava Bekurim Asurim, After Zara. If Bekurim get mixed up with something Also, even the Zarim, after the two have Davar Yeshus Matirim. Even though for the Kahanim, it's Yeshla Matirim, why? Even for him, after the two have a Davar She'ein Le Matirim, for the Yisrael, it's Ein Le Matirim, because for him, for Kurim always stays also. Even though the Kahanim have Davar Yeshus Matirim, since for Kahanim it's Yeshla Matirim, the Yechiel le'echlei b'Yerushalayim, they could go ahead and eat in Yerushalayim. After Zarim Aser, even for Yisrael it's Aser. So meaning, Bikurim for a Kohen, Yeshla Matirim. You can eat it in Yerushalayim. For Yisrael, it's Ein La Matirim. The Torah says, since for one person it's Yeshla Matirim, it's not bottle, and we don't split the bittul. We don't say for him it's bottle and for him it's not bottle. We don't do that. If there's certain people it's not bottle for them, it's not bottle for anybody. We can't split it. So since there's a person here who for him it's Yeshla Matirim, he can eat it later on. So therefore this thing doesn't become bottle and it stays asa. Same thing over here. If you have food for me it's mutter Shabbos, for me it's Yeshla Matirim. For you, for the person who did it himself, it's asa forever. So for him it's Ein Le Matirim. Still, even for him it's not bottle. Since for me it's not bottle, for him it's also not bottle.
So it doesn't go according to the person.
Correct.
What you're saying. In other words, you look at this item. If somewhere, if there is somewhere where it's a davar sheyesh lo matirim, then you don't have the
no bittul.
No bittul.
No bittul.
Even if that doesn't apply to you.
Correct. Since there's no matirim. Which is interesting. It's a very hard svara because you don't say.
It's not just on you. Then it should be whatever.
Yeah, but even more. What's the svara Yeshla Matirim? Asher tachlan lebeis tachlan beheter. Right. Here, we don't say that. But for example, truma they got mixed in. Right. Everyone says it's bottle, even for Yisrael. Well, let a kohen eat it. We don't say let a kohen eat it. That we don't say. But for now it's osher and to become mutter for somebody, and now it's asher tachlanum. The same bikurim. Bikurim, now it's osher for a kohen because in Yerushalayim. If the bikurim would be in Yerushalayim, then it's yes, no, it's for the kohen it's mutter right now. Jonathan, have stuff here.
Sorry?
Have stuff here in my car.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you leaving?
I'll come by later.
Okay.
You're around the rest of the day?
Yeah. If Bikurim, if it's in Yerushalayim, it's bottle. Why? Because for the Kohen it's mutter now, and for Yisrael it's also li'olam. But Bikurim, when it's in Chutz La'aretz, so it's Yeshla Matirim for the Kohen, so therefore it's not bottle for anybody. That's what will come out.
But once the Bikurim goes into Yerushalayim, so it enters Yerushalayim, so now it's no. Why shouldn't it? Now
it becomes bottle.
Oh, now we'll.
Yeah, and the Chalabi.
Shabbos it will become.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. The Bikurim, when it's in Chutz La'aretz, it's not bottle because for the Kohen it's Yeshla Matirim. Once it comes into Eretz Yisrael, now the bittul works. Because now there's no Yeshla Matirim. We'll see in a second. Rambam, Peish Mishnayos, B'Chaburei, Perek Dal, B'Kurim, U'mi Rash, Kosav Lev, Davar Sheyesh lo Matirim, Kivin Da Surim L'Zorim. Since it's also for Zorim, it's not for Yeshla Matirim, and Kamokim Yeshla Achmirim, like the Rambam. Masha Kosav Yeridei, Yosef Simikuf Beis. It says in Yeridei that Ma'aser Shabbos is called Davar Sheyesh lo Matirim. Efshid the Ayri Kishinis Ariv Achar HaShabbos. He got mixed up after Shabbos. So after Shabbos, for me, it's mutter. For the person who did it, it's osir. So therefore now it's taka bottle. The other have a mamish domi the truma. Uchener the ikr.
So after Shabbos it's not Davar Sheyesh lo Matirim.
After Shabbos, it's not Matirim because for me it's mutter now, and for Loi it's osir anyway.
Yeah, so there's no utat al tzugya.
Right.
Just straight bittul.
Right, straight bittul. It's like truma. It's mutter for the kohen. It's also for me. It's not for the Yeshla Matirim. It's only if there's a person who is also for him now, and later on become mutter. So now, if it gets mixed in mutter Shabbos, then it's bottle. Rabbi Kiva says over here. If you look at Rabbi Kiva over here, So the Morgan of Ram Beis, second stickle, Sham. Boy said Dibber after the Mairi, Kishanis Arab. Who are the says of Kivega? Kishanis Arab bis Shabbos. You can't mix up on Shabbos as of Kivega. So the Morgan of Ram. Have it in the Shulchan Aruchs? Have it? Which page is it on?
Goes from Kiveger, left side, near the grill.
So the word says Arab bis Shabbos, la'achar Shabbos mutter. After Shabbos is mutter. Why? The heat to be Yom Shabbos not its bottom of Karchesh Tamatirim. Because Makayim Maschel Bittul la'achar Shabbos. But after Shabbos, now the Bittul starts working. Because after Shabbos, for me it's mutter, and for him it's also the Eilam. So now the Bittul can start working.
Right.
After Pirush Rambam Mashman the Dafkik Shenis Arab with Koyin Osir after Yisrael, the Kamokim the Chibura the Mashma Kain in the Chibur of the Rambam with the Mashma Kain Gambit Dvorav Shebe Pirush Yeshleim Kain. You could also explain the Rambam that way. So the Magen Avraham says that as long as it's for one person, it's mutter, it's also now, and it becomes mutter later on, he holds the whole bittul from happening. But once it becomes mutter for that person, then the bittul could work even for the person who's also to. Fine. That's Yechiel Atirim. Let's just finish off the Magen Avraham. And
I got a bit confused with that because I thought before you said that it was if there's at least you don't make a division between those.
We don't make a division, right? So if it's also for me now, we'll call mutter for me later on.
Right.
Even though somebody else is also forever.
Right.
It's not bottle.
So
but when it becomes mutter for me,
right.
Mutter Shabbos, now it's mutter for me. So now it's mutter for me, it's also for you. So now it's bottle. The only time it's not bottle is if there's somebody who is also for him now, and it will become mutter for him.
Right, but after Shabbos,
it's mutter for me. It's mutter for you. It's also.
Right.
So then it's bottle.
So then you can nullify it.
Yes.
So even for the cook, for which it's also,
correct.
You can bottle it with shishin.
Correct. Also Shabbos.
All right. Oh, okay.
No, but not the marriage.
Not there.
Not intentionally.
No, you can't do it. You can't put it in. If it's mixed in.
I appreciate that. You can't do it.
But basically, you can't. Right.
The show game.
Right. If you got mixed in.
Would someone else be allowed to? For him, it's mutter.
Doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You didn't see that.
Yeah, for me, it's mutter. So I want to mix it up.
Mix it up, just so you can eat it.
Yeah. But if I mix it up for him, then it's also.
Then it's also.
Yeah. If I mix it up for him, then it's also. Yeah, we had that in inside the ches. Nearly says the Magen Avraham, L'misha is bashal b'shviloi. The person who was cooked for him, have a gamkein dinay k'moi hu atzmoi. Even though he himself didn't cook it, but someone did it for him, it's as if it was for himself. That's why in Vatalista, Simitad test, Vatalista lechatchila, you're not allowed to. For you it's also, for other people it's mutter. Tahachanami time mishum chinasa. Me and Medivir Rabbi Seisu sham mashma dafka haseim. Dafka over there it's also for even the people who was done for. Chashina sheim alachim levatlev. Hacha. And then we have to wait till there's no chas. You're not chashish for Yisrael. There ain't adam chaytav v'loy. Person doesn't know chayt, not for himself. There's no chashash to worry about. They'll do it lechatchila. But the Ma'aseh, the Magen Avraham still holds that even for other people, if it was done for them, it's as if it was done as if they themselves did it. Magen Avraham b'shogig. Asa pi'eros chochem mitri shogig. If a Rav paskin for you a certain thing and they paskin wrong, we call the shogig. Who did Shechayach? Someone forgot the halacha. Fine, that's Aleph.